Return of the black messiah, yeah, don't that surprise? Sometimes you gotta repent and relearn. If we don't follow laws of the Lord, nigga, we burn. Kingdom on his way with a crown waiting, look what we earn. Realize, Jacob on the rise, now it's our turn. Esau, now I ain't gon' front. We laughing at you cause we know your time is up. To any Jake joining hands showing love, I pray open up your eyes and wake up. I'm seeing Russia bringing out the real illustrations, and all them devil claiming Christians getting irritated. Biden still sleepy Joe while Kamala high. COVID-19 was a lie, now we outside. I'ma say it proud, I'ma cry loud. Revelations 2:9 got you tired, saying you the Jews but you really some liars. They can't be us, they can't be us, they can't be us. They can't be us, they can't be us, they can't be us. They can't be us, they can't be us, they can't be us. They can't be us, they can't be us, they can't be us.
All right. Shalawam. I mean, that was just, boy, all praises to the Most High for that brother that put that work in, right? I mean, got the whole world screaming, not like us, Revelation 2:9. But before we get started, let's give all praises be to the Father Yahweh. Once again, all praises. Call Halal Yahweh. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahweh. For those who don't know the Hebrew, that's all praises be to our Abanawi Yahweh and our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahweh. Shalawam to all the Ox out there, all the Aquas out there, the water for tuning in. If you have tuned in and you made it this far, please make sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, and comment, and that's for every Israelite, not just me, but for all the brothers out there, all the sisters putting in work. When you click on theirs, hit their like button, share they message, and so we can edify one another, right? So I got a quick one here today, as always. We're going to dive right into the scriptures, Proverbs 3:1. It never gets old, right? And I want to touch on, today we're going to be talking about Romans and the Jew and the Greek. So I want to touch on a few things real quick. Let me not hold you. Let me read this. Proverbs 3:1. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep the commandments. For length of days, long life, and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them upon thy neck. Write them upon the table of thy heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Elohim and man. Trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, who is the him, Yahweh, and he shall direct thy path. Verse 7, be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. Okay? Depart from evil, people. Unrighteousness, lawlessness. Usually I stop right there. But since this message, today we're going to be going in the book of Romans, where all Christians love to go. They seem to love this verse, other than John 3:16. So since I did do a video on John 3:16, if you have not checked that video out, please go back and to my channel and click on that part 1 and 2 to get edified on that. So I'm going to tap into this Romans chapter 1 just a little bit, and we're going to dive into it, and I can show you what I see and what the breakdown is from the Most High that has given to me through the Spirit, okay? But what I want to do, jump down right here to verse 31, when it says, envy thou not thy oppressor. So envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. And if you listen to that song and you tapped in, and it spoke about Deuteronomy 28, and we know as a people, we were brought over here. Some of our brothers and sisters was already here. We don't have to debate that. I do agree. A lot of our brothers and sisters was already here prior to the colonizers coming. but also a lot of our brothers and sisters came over on boats. But regardless of the fact, all of us were oppressed together in different places and still being oppressed today. We might not have the actual chains on right now, but I forget the word what I was looking for. It's basically when somebody been in slavery or been in something so long, you don't have to keep them in chains no more. You can let them walk around free, and that's what they have done now, to where we don't even want to leave or go anywhere because we don't know where to go. They have stripped everything from us. But anyway, the forward is an abomination to Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. And I just want to see this secret is with the righteous. So if you're living righteous and you're striving to live righteous, then the Most High Yahweh will start to reveal his secrets to you. Okay, I got another one and I want to jump to. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, and I'm gonna start it off at, let me see where I want to start. I just started 4. And my speech and my preaching was not with the enticing words of man's wisdom, right? But in demonstration of the spirit of the Rakah and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of man. And this is what I'm asking you, if you made it this far, not for your wisdom or your knowledge to stand with the wisdom and knowledge of man, but in the power of the Most High Yahweh, right? You got to be in the spirit. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of what? This world. This is why a lot of Christians don't get it, because they don't have the spirit in them. They claim they do, but they don't. And they have the wisdom and knowledge of this world, which Paul is basically professing right here. Nor of the princes of this world, that come to what? Nothing. But we speak the wisdom of the Most High Yahweh in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom. So something is hidden. This is why Christians can look at the Bible, which I'm going to go into, and why they say, like in the book of Romans, neither Jew nor Greek, read it. Or John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Well, yeah, if you just read it and you don't have the spirit, the Most High is telling you right here that this wisdom is a mystery. If you think you just gonna crack the Bible open and understand it, and you can just read it and you think you got it, no. The Bible is a mystery, and it's hidden wisdom, which the Most High Yahweh ordained before the world unto our glory. This is what Paul is saying, which none of the princes of what? Of this world knew. So of none of the princes, nobody that was elite at the time Paul was walking the earth and writing this letter, if they couldn't understand it, and they had it, and they knew, well, they didn't have Paul writing, but they had the law, they had the Old Testament, but yet they couldn't get it, yet they couldn't get the understanding. And it says, for had they known it, see, they didn't know. For had they known it, they would not have what? Crucified the master of glory, which is who? Yahushua HaMashiach, right? Christ, the anointed one. Because if they knew it, they wouldn't have crucified him. They wouldn't have hung him on that tree, right? But as it is written, I want you to see that where it says, as it is written. So it's written. Where? In the law, in the testimony, in the prophets, and in the writings. I have not seen nor heard, neither have I entered into the heart of man, the things which the Most High have prepared for them that love him. But the Most High, Yahweh, have revealed them unto us by his what? Spirit. See? By his spirit. How do we know this? Watch this. Let's go here. We're going to go right back to that. Watch this. Elohim is a what? Spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in what? Spirit and in truth. So right here in the book of Corinthians, it said, but Elohim have revealed them unto us by what? His spirit. See? Because Elohim is what? A spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. So Paul is saying the same thing that John is saying. For the spirit searcheth all things. Yep. The deep things of who? Elohim. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of the man? So the only person that knows the things of a man is his spirit, his rakah, with a question mark there at the end. Even so the things of Elohim knoweth no man, but the spirit of Elohim. Now we have received, what have we received? The spirit of Elohim. Not the spirit of this world. No, we haven't received the spirit of this world. We did have it, but now we have the spirit of the truth. This is why all the scriptures tell us to what? Put off the mortal flesh, right? Refrain yourself from fleshly lusts. Why? Because we have put that off. It says now. What does now mean? At this point in time, the starting point right here, now, we have received not the spirit of this world, right? We didn't get the spirit of this world, but the rakah but the rakah which is of Elohim, that we might know. Let me highlight this right here. I'm going to highlight all that. That we might know the things that are freely given to us of Elohim. So it's freely given, okay? So if anybody out there asking for some money, now if you want to donate, then donate. But it should not be an obligation to you to be able to have to give your money to a congregation, a pastor, a bishop, a elder, a priest, or a captain, or a general, or all these different titles that mans have, right? It's freely given. Who is it freely given by? It says to us of what? Of who? Elohim, right? So it's freely given to us from the Father, through Hamashiach Yahushai, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom. So we're not speaking of man wisdom. If you're still tuned in here and you made it this far, just realize that we're not speaking in man's wisdom. So if you're looking for man's wisdom, you have clicked on the wrong channel. This is through the spirit of the Most High Yahweh, okay? Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Quadash Rakah, which is the Holy Spirit, teaches us. Now, if you really want to be taught, this is who you should want to be taught by and through, right? You should want to be taught by and through the Holy Spirit. You might say, well, why did he call it the Quadash Rakah? Well, holy just means Quadash in Hebrew, which means to be set apart. Ghost is just referring to the spirit, which in Hebrew is called the Rakah. Okay? And it says teach it, comparing spiritual things with what? Spiritual. So when we read the scriptures, we have to understand that the scriptures are spiritual. Paul even said that I am carnal or I am fleshly, but we know that the law is what? Spiritual. Okay? So we have to do this in a spiritual aspect. You can't read it and you can't look through these scriptures with man's wisdom, as he's saying right here. Because you went to college and you got the degree and you feel like you're highly educated, or you graduated from high school or college or wherever you went, and you think you so big and bad. That's man's wisdom, okay? But we are comparing spiritual things with spiritual, okay? But the natural man receiveth not, okay? So the average man out here in the world that's working, or just the average blow Joe, he is not receiving these things, okay? He is not receiving these things. It says, but the natural man receiveth not, right? The things But the natural man receiveth not the things of the spirit of the Rakah of Elohim, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So nobody can really understand these things unless you're in the spirit, and it has to be spiritually discerned for all of us, not just for one individual. It's everybody has to be spiritually discerned for. You have to tap into the spirit, or the spirit has to tap into you, I should say, which is not easy to do, because clearly we're going against the flesh, and the flesh and the spirit battles one another. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. Okay? So a spiritual man can judge all things, but yet he himself is judged of no man. Why? Because the man is up in the flesh. Okay? So let's leave that and let's jump into this Romans that I wanted to get into. Okay? Oh, I got this pulled up right here. Just in case for some of you guys, you might say, well, why does he say Yahweh? Why does he say Quadash and some of the Hebrew things? So I'm just trying to show this so you can see. Now, the reason I do that is because I'm speaking ancient Paleo Hebrew. And this is what you have here on the screen. So instead of me saying Judah, I would say Yahweh, right? And instead of saying Benjamin, I would say Ben Naaman, right? Or La Wa Ya, right? For Levi. So these are how you would say the 12 tribes in Paleo Hebrew. And you can see the modern Hebrew right here and the Paleo Hebrew, right? And then here you see Israel, which is Yasharallah, right? And then you see the power or the Almighty, right? In English. But I wouldn't say that. I would say the Shaddai. Some people say Shaddai, or the Shaddai Allah, right? Because Allah just means power, and Shaddai means almighty. So instead of me saying it in English, power almighty, I just say Allah Shaddai, or Allah Shaddai. Why do I say Allah? Sometimes people leave comments, why do you say Allah? You going off, you crazy, are you Muslim, or what's... So many questions, right? So here it is right here. I say Allah because this letter right here is Ah, and the next letter next to it is La. This is the modern Hebrew right here. This letter right here is pronounced Ah, or in Yiddish, in the modern Hebrew, they would call it Alaf, all right? And this letter right here is called La, which is the Lama in the Hebrew. So this is why I say Allah. It just means power. Another times you hear me say Elohim, right? You can see the Allah, Hi, Yam, which just means powers. And this is how it's written in the Paleo Hebrew. Okay? Malak, sometimes you hear me say all these different words, Barakatah, Salakia, things like that. These are the things that I speak in the Hebrew, and they're right here. You can see them on the screen, but I wanted to share that with you. This is just a few. Okay? And then why we say call Halal Yahweh, you see it right here, which means praise. Call Halal Yahweh, Basham, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, right? And it goes on and on and on. You know, so tap in, comment, you know, if you want to know the, like I say, this is the Shalawam Kadash. This is not that Yiddish that the Edomites speak. This is the Shalawam Kadash. For those who know, you know, right? So let's get back into it. Romans chapter 1. Everybody always talking about Romans. Even these Christians, when they come up to me, they like, Romans, read Romans or read John 3:16. So let's read Romans. I want to do a quick little something on it, right? It says Romans. We're going to go right to it. We're not going to beat around the bush. Romans 1:16, and it says, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Hamashiach, or Christ, which I'm not ashamed. For it is the power of Elohim unto salvation to everyone that believeth. So you have to believe, right? And then it says to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. Now, before we break all this down, I want to go up a little bit, right? And let's read with Paul. Let's get the context of it. Paul, a servant of Yahushua HaMashiach, called to be an apostle, separated unto the gospel of Elohim, which he had promised afore by his prophets in the holy or the Kodash scriptures. So he's letting you know that this was promised afore by who? The prophets, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Nahum, right? All these people, Ezekiel, right? All of these people, it was prophesied by, right? Concerning his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, our master, which was made of the seed of what? David. That's why he comes from the tribe of Judah. The seed of David, according to what? The flesh. So Paul is speaking about a fleshly thing right here. Notice how he's going into everything about Yahushua, and he comes from the seed of David, and declared to be the son of Elohim with power, according to the Rakah of Kodashness, by the resurrection from the dead, by whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among all nations for his name. Now, what is the obedience? What are they being obedient to? They're being obedient to the law. That's all Paul had. Paul hadn't wrote this and hadn't been printed yet. The printing press didn't start to the 15 or 1600s with Martin Luther. Okay? The first time they ever put these letters together, I think the first time Paul ever started to write was maybe the earliest writing is like maybe 40 AD, maybe 50 AD. Well, Hamashiach or Christ died in 33 AD. Okay? So obedience to what? The law. Among whom are ye also called of Yahushua HaMashiach. And then it says, to all that be in Rome, beloved of Elohim, called to be saints. Well, who are the saints? Let me see. Let's get it. Who are the saints? Let's go to Psalms. Everybody know the classics. Psalms 50 and 5. And this is right here. You see? And this is the Psalm Psalms 50 and 5. And it says, gather my saints together. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a what? Covenant with me by sacrifice. Who made a covenant with the Most High with sacrifice? The children of Israel, right? The children of Israel. So Paul has to be talking about the saints are the children of Israel. Grace to you and peace from Elohim, our Father. Who is our Father? Paul said he was an Israelite. Let me get it. See, we have to know who Paul is talking about. First of all, let me get this. What advantage, this is Romans 3 and 1. What advantage then have the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? It says much in every way, chiefly, because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Most High Yahweh. The oracles, meaning the law, the sacrifices, all this that we just talked about was given to who? The Israelites. Okay? So this is what he's talking about right here in Romans 1. Grace to you and peace from our. He's letting you know our. Not everybody's, but our Father and the Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach. First, I thank my. Notice he said, first, I thank my Elohim through Yahushua HaMashiach for you all, that your faith is spoken of throughout the whole world. For Elohim is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit of Rakah in the gospel of his Son, that without ceasing I make mention of you always in my prayers. So we see who the context of what is Paul is saying. Are, right? My, he's using possessive things, right? Possessive, right? So now when we jump down to verse 16, it says he is not ashamed, but Christians love this Jew first and then the Greek, right? For therein is the righteousness of Elohim revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, they just shall live by faith. Now, I want to go into this Jew first and also the Greek just a little bit, if you allow me to. The first one I have pulled up first right here, as clear as you can see, what does the word of Jew in the Bible mean? And you can see, you can pull it up yourself. It's on Google, and it says, in the Bible, the term Jew refers to the people from the kingdom of Judah. Okay? The kingdom of Judah. Now, let me go here real quick. Hebrews 8. So people are always talking about this new covenant. Christians love talking about the new covenant, right? So here it is. For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for a second. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the master, when I will make a new covenant. So we're talking about the new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand and led them out of the land of Egypt, because they continue not in my covenant and regarded them not, saith Yahweh. Right? So who is he making this covenant with? Hebrews 8:8 says it's Israel and Judah. We click right here and it says Jew. So the word Jew in Romans 1:16 is referring to what? Refers to the people from the kingdom of Judea, or the tribe of Judah, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. So this word Jew right here in 1:16 is only referring to one tribe. It's only referring to one tribe. Slow down, Israelites. I know I'm going to go there. But we know at this time the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom has split, right? So if anybody knows the history, is split after Solomon, and it went, the northern kingdom had 10 tribes, and then the other tribes were the southern kingdom, which was who? Judah, or Yehoiada, Benjamin, and Levi, right? How do we know this? How can we reconcile this, right? So you got the Hebrews 8:8. You need to go there for the new covenant. You see it's Israel and Judah. Now, watch this. Okay, so this is Ezra, right? Back in the day when he was in captivity. Here it is. Thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, Yahweh, Elohim, of the Shemayim have given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he have charged me to build him an house out of Jerusalem. So these are the Israelites, right? This is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi that were in captivity, right? They were in bondage. They were in slavery. But when they were freed, Cyrus is finna let them go and be free, because he's giving charge to what? Build him a house at where? Jerusalem, which is in what? Judah. See, this is why it's important for you to go back and read the Testament, the Old Testament, so you can know what's going on in the New Testament. When you see right here, Romans 1:16, and it's talking about the Jew first. Yeah, it's talking about the Jew first, because who is the Jew? I'm about to let you know. Who is there among you of all his people? Well, we know that the 10 tribes had already went away into Assyria, right? So it's only talking to the Jews right here, and it's letting you know, who is there among you of all his people? Is Elohim be with him, and let him go up to where? Jerusalem, which is in where? Judah, and build the house of Yahweh, Allah of Israel, or Yashua Allah. He is the Allah which is in Jerusalem. And it says, and whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the man of his place help him with what? Silver, with gold, and with goods, and with beasts, besides the free will offering for the house of Allah, that is in where? Jerusalem. Okay? It's in Jerusalem. And it says, then rose up the chief of the fathers of who? Judah. So this is where you get the word Jew from. Judah. And who? Benjamin. Benjamin. And the priests and the Levites. With all them whose Rakah or spirit Allah had raised to go up and do what? To build the house of Yahweh, which is in where? Jerusalem. Okay? Because they needed to go and rebuild because they had tore it down. So this is later on when Hamashiach came or when Christ came. That's why it was a temple there, because these brothers right here, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, had rebuilt it. It didn't get sacked again until 70 AD after Hamashiach or Christ had been crucified in 33 AD. So you need to know the history and things as what's going on, right? So when we read Romans 1 and 16 right here, it's only talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Let's click on Google again. One of the 12 tribes of Israel. The tribe was named after who? Judah, Jacob's fourth son. The kingdom was named after the tribe. The term Jew may also mean thank the Most High Yahweh. So this is what you have to understand what the word Jew means. That's only really one tribe, which is Judah, but it has been applied to not only Judah, but Benjamin and some of the Levites, because they went right here when they were told to go build the temple. So these were the Jews. So when you read about the Jews, it's only talking about the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, and the Levites at that time, right, that are considered Jews. Where are all the other tribes at? Where are all the other tribes? Where's Manasseh? Where's Ephraim? This is what you have to understand. So when it's talking about right here, Jew first, and also to the Greeks, well, why would it be calling the Greeks? What happened? Well, let's click over here. Let's see what happened with the Greeks. So the Greeks were in power, and then it says, after the Greeks were in power, the Persians came into power. So right here, who eventually took over the Greeks? And it said the Macedonians, the Alexander the Great, and the Romans both adopted what? The spread of Greek culture. And this is 146 BC. So everybody was adopting the Greek culture. So anybody could call themselves a Greek. You didn't actually even have to be a Greek, because everybody was calling themselves Greeks. Right? The Roman general Mark Antony, right here, Cleopatra, right? These are Edomites. These are Edomites. So I want you to see this, that anybody could call themselves a Greek. Just like in the Bible, Paul said, is it lawful for you to strike a Roman citizen? Was not Paul called a Roman citizen or a Roman? But yet he was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. It's the same thing. So there were Israelites, there were Greeks. This is why Paul said right here, Romans 1 and 16, to the Jew first and also to the Greeks. Because these Greeks did know that they were Israelite. How? Let's go to First Maccabees, right? This is the 1611. Let me see where I want to start at. 41. This is the 1611 King James Bible. King James Bible, 1611, First Maccabees, right? Chapter 1. Jump down. You can go back and read everything. I want you to. Read it all, please. You will learn so much. But anyway, moreover, the king Antiochus, if I'm pronouncing that right, if I'm not, Salakia, forgive me, wrote to his whole kingdom. What kingdom is this? The Greek kingdom. How do we know? Watch this. This is him. These are his sons. Well, I think one of these are his sons and one is him, okay? But they were what? They were ruler of the Greek, was a Greek Hellenistic king who ruled 175 BC. BC means before Christ, until his death. 164. His son, which they had the same names, right, was over the Greek. So these are the Edomites that were the Greeks, right? The kings that were over there. Here's the other one. And he ruled from 223 to 187 BC. July 3rd, 187 BC. And he was what? Over the Greeks. The Great was the Greek Hellenistic king. So we have to understand who it is we're about to read about. This is who we're about to read about right here. Wrote to his whole kingdom. What kingdom? The Greeks, right? That all should be one people. Wait a minute. So all people got to be one people. No matter what your true nationality is, Asian, barbarian, whatever you are, you got to be one people. Just like today people call themselves American, right? Asian, Chinese, Filipino, all these people come over here to America. You ask them, what's your nationality? They say, I'm an American. Now, you know that's not true because you came over here. Your people are just like maybe first and second, you know what I mean. It'll slip my mind right now. But first and second generation, there it is. So you're not an American, okay? So you need to find out who you really are. But it says right here in 41 that all should be one people. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen, listen, heathen, which go against the Most High Yahweh, all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Who is this king? A Greek king. And all of the heathen, which are non-Israelites, agreed. But here it is right here, verse 43. Yeah, many also of the who? Israelites. Many also of who? The Israelites consented to this, what? Religion. And sacrifice to what? Idols. Sacrifice to idols. This is why when Paul, look at this. Watch this. And I'm not going to go all into it too much. You know, if you got any more questions, drop comments, come back, whatever you got. I mean, this is right here. Truth, like I say, all spiritual things, right? And it says in 1 Corinthians 12, this is why he went to the Corinthians, right? He went to his brothers that was calling themselves Corinthians because of this Greek thing that happened. He said, now concerning spiritual gifts, right? Everything is spiritual. We read this. Brethren. This is why he calls them brethren, right? I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye what? Were Gentiles. How were they Gentiles? Well, you read here in 1 Maccabees, what were they doing? They were sacrificing the idols and profaned the Sabbath. When you do those things, you're considered a Gentile. You're considered a heathen. You have betrayed and went against the Most High. How do we know this? Let me get another one. I got anything else pulled up? Where I'm at right here. Oh, that's 12. I just jump over here real quick, though. Let me just go to here. This is Hosea 1:10, and it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be, as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass, that in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. Why were they not his people? Because they went away or went off after idolatry. So they are not his people. This is the Most High speaking. He's saying you are not my people because you went away after idolatry. If you read this whole story, this is why he's, first of all, this is the child's name up here. And he's telling Hosea, you are not my people, that it should be said unto them, ye are the sons of who? The living Most High, or the living Elohim. Then shall who? The children of Judah and the children of who? Israel be gathered together and appointed themselves one head, and they shall come up of the land, for great shall be the day of Yisrael. Right? So this is why you got to go back into that Old Testament, right? So where was we at? First Maccabees. So they was profaning the Sabbath. Verse 44. The king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judea, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. Why? Because these are Greeks. These are heathens. These are Hellenistic, as it says, Hellenistic people. Greeks. So yeah, they don't follow the laws that was given to the children of Israel. Why? Because they're not the children of Israel. This is why I said the Israelites consented to this. The heathen were okay with it, but it didn't matter about the heathen. We're more concerned about the Israelites. It said, for the king has sent letters by messengers to Jerusalem and the cities of who? Judea. Why? Because that's where the Jews are. That they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings, meaning you couldn't do burnt offerings to the Most High no more, and you couldn't sacrifice to the Most High Yahweh anymore, and you couldn't do any drink offerings to the Most High Yahweh anymore in his temple. Where we just read in Ezra 1, this is what they went there to do, to build a temple so they could sacrifice and do the burnt offerings and do all these things for the Most High. And it says right here, in the temple. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and his festivals, which are his feast days. So they was going completely against the Most High. So no, the Most High said, you're not my people. You are Greeks. You assimilated yourself into a Greek culture. You're with the Greeks, and you are profaning, and you are going against my Sabbath and my feast days. And what did they do? And polluted the sanctuary and Quadash people. So the people that were Quadash or holy, they polluted the sanctuary and those people. And then what did he do? And set up altars and groves and chapels of what? Idols. Let's get this in Exodus. You can't do that. Everybody know in the law you can't do that. That's one of the first things in the law. What'd he say? I am Yahweh thy Allah, which brought thee out of the land of the house of Salakia, out of the land of Egypt, of Mizraim. Out of the house of what? Bondage, slavery. Thou shalt have no other Elohims before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in the Shemayim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh thy Allah, am a jealous Allah, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and do what? Keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy Allah in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. And in verse 8 it says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it what? Quadash, or holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, for the seventh day is the Sabbath day of Yahweh thy Allah. In that, Salaki, in it thou shalt not do any work, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor the stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the Shemayim and the earth, the sea, and all that are in them is, and rested on the seventh day, wherefore Yahweh baraked it. the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Okay? So you can't do that. And yet, this is what they were doing. These Greeks. They set up altars and groves and chapels of idols. They were directly going against the Most High and sacrificed what? Swine's flesh. They sacrificed swine's flesh and unclean beasts. That's an abomination to the Most High. Let's get that. That's an abomination to the Most High. Leviticus 11, right? This is what the Greeks were doing, and the Israelites were doing it with them. So this is why they became not his people. No, you can't be his people when you're going against him. Leviticus 11:7, it says, and the swine, though it defileth the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet it cheweth not the cud, it is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So you cannot eat swine flesh, or neither can you touch it. And here they are sacrificing swine flesh in the temple of the Most High, Yahweh. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised. And you know, as an Israelite child, an Israelite boy, he must be circumcised on the 8th day, right? So they were breaking another law. They were breaking all type of laws. These are Israelites breaking the law. It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls, what? Abominable with all manner of uncleanness. With all manner of uncleanness. To the end that they might forget what? The law. That's what he was trying to do. The Greeks were trying to make them forget the law that was given to them. This law that people say that they love. The Greeks were not trying. They were making the Israelites forget the law. They were commanding them to go away from the law. This was what the Greeks did. To the end that they might forget the what? Law of the Most High Yahweh, and change all the what? Ordinances. So the Greeks are just like the Romans. They wanted to change all of the laws and ordinances that the Israelite kept. And it says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king. What king? This Greek king. Him. And all of his sons he had. Him. And all of these Greek kings that was here until they were taken down by the Persians, right? Or the Medes, right? So it says, let me see. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should what? Die. He should be put to death. He should be put to death. So if you didn't do the things of the Greek culture or the Greek customs, or allow them to be as the Greeks and take on their customs and do what they wanted you to do, they would put you to death. In the self same manner wrote he to the whole kingdom. He wrote it to the whole kingdom and appointed overseers. Who are overseers? Just big bullies, right? To make sure it's going to happen over all people, commanding the cities of who? Judea. So who was in Judea? We read this earlier. It says the kingdom of who? Judea, or the tribe of who? Judah, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. So the Greeks were oppressing or going against the children of Israel, as you can see it right here. But who were they going against? We already brought it out. They were going against Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They already said they're going to put them to death. And it says right here, overseers of all the people commanding the cities of Judea to sacrifice city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit every one that forsook, meaning they went against the Most High. They forsook it. They didn't want it. They didn't do it. They took on the Greek culture. They took on being a Greek, calling themselves a Greek, and doing Greek customs. So they forsook the way of the Most High and said, listen, I ain't an Israelite no more. I ain't a Hebrew no more. I'm a Greek now. And they forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land and drove the Israelites into secret places. So the ones that didn't allow to be turned over and be Greek and things, they was in secret. They was hiding. They were scared. It said wheresoever they could flee. Succor. Wherever they could flee, wherever they could hide out. The ones who didn't get turned over, the ones who didn't want to turn in to the Greeks. I mean, this is crazy. So right here in Romans 1:16, just a little history on that. I didn't mean for it to go that long, but you know, it was just a little bit too. It's so much more. But so when you read right here in Romans 1:16, for when Paul is saying, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Hamashiach, for it is the power of Allah unto salvation to everyone that believeth. And then it says to the Jew first and also to the Greek. Well, this is what he's talking about. His brothers have been turned Greek. Let me get another one. This is why James is writing. This is why everybody is writing the whole New Testament. But if you don't, like I say, if you're not spiritual, then you ain't going to get it. So look at James. This is Yahweh brother, a Christ brother. Just said James, a servant of Allah. And this Trinity thing talking about they are one and all that. Come on, man. Read what it's saying. It says James, a servant of Allah and of our master, Yahweh HaMashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings to who? My brethren. Who is he talking to? To the 12 tribes of Israel. You can't put yourself in this. This is James 1:1. This is the letterhead. This is letting you know who he's writing to. He's writing to the 12 tribes of Israel, which have been scattered abroad. Greetings, my brethren. Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations. Right? So, listen, I'm going to end it here. Maybe I'll do a part 2 if I need to. If I get like 100 likes, 200 likes, I'll do a part 2 or something like that. Let me just end it with Paul since we did it with Paul. Right? I'm going to just end it with Paul. In Romans 9:1. I say the truth in Hamashiach. So Paul is saying, this what I'm about to say is the truth. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Quadash Rakah that I have great heaviness and continual sadness of sorrow in my heart. For I wished that myself were accursed from Hamashiach. For who? My brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Who are his brother according to the flesh? It says it right here in verse 4. Who are who? Israelites. So this is who he's talking about. He's not talking about nobody else but the 12 tribes of Israel, his brethren, his kinsmen, to whom pertaineth the adoption. So the adoption that people talking about that they being grafted in, Paul said that that's for the Israelites. The glory is for the Israelites. The covenants is for the Israelites, and the giving of the law and the service of Elohim and the promises. Who were the promises given to? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who's our fathers? What fathers? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And of who? As concerning the flesh, Hamashiach, who came. This is why Christ came, for the Israelites. He didn't go to nobody else. And he told his disciples not to go to nobody else. Who is all over. Salakia. Who is over all. Elohim blessed or Barak forever. And it says, not as though the word of Elohim have taken no effect, for they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham. Why? Because Abraham had another son. He had a son called Ishmael, right? He had a son with the handmaid. I forget her name, Hagar. Right? So he had a son named Ishmael. But it says neither because they are the seed of Abraham or what? They the children, or all the children. But in who? Isaac. You got to be Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob shall the seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, which is who? Ishmael. These are not the children of Elohim. I didn't write this. Don't get mad at me. This is in the Bible that you say you believe in, that Paul wrote. These are not the children of Elohim, but the children of the promise are accounted for the seed. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come. And Sarah, who was Isaac's mother, Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father who? Isaac, for the children being not... I'm going to stop right there, man. I'm going to just stop right there. Look, you can go, you can read, because I could keep going and going and going. But listen, like I said, if I get to like 200 likes, comment, let me know, and we'll go in, you know. We'll go in. But when it's going back to that Romans 1 and 16, be careful with that, because Christians don't know what they're talking about, okay? They really don't. That's why you need to read all the Bible and not just the New Testament, okay? You need to know it all. So, yeah, he is saying Jew first and also to the Greek. Why? Because when you read in Maccabees, a lot of our brothers took on the customs of the Greeks, and they assimilated themselves in the custom of the Greeks. Right here, 43. And yeah, many also of the Israelites went and dealt with the Greeks and started calling themselves Greeks. And the Greeks reigned for a long time. It wasn't just like no 2 or 3 years. You see what I'm saying? From 223 to 187. This one reigned from 175 to 164. So, I mean, it was king after king after king. So there was a long time. It wasn't like it was no 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 years. So this was generations that our people had been assimilated in Greek culture and start calling themselves Greeks. Anyway, I give all praises to the Most High Yahweh. Hopefully this was edifying for you. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, share, and I say Kwam Yasharala, giving praises be to the Father. Abanawa call Halal Yahweh Ba Shama Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Shalawam.
Cattle making slave owners rich. A man can't save us, it was nothing he could fix. God sent us back to Egypt again, but on ships.